We walk alone in the unknown. We live to win another victory. We are the young, dying sons. We live to change the face of history. Don't be afraid, it's the price we pay. The only easy day was yesterday.
Welcome back, YouTubers, to the ultimate in our SummerSlam review series. It's SummerSlam 2010. Yay!
Yay!
I guess, because this is kind of the worst one, really. I wanted to get this one out of the way with. I don't know about you.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Alright then, make sure you guys subscribe up above, of course. Like this video, get your comments on SummerSlam 2010 down below.
And make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
That being said by the awesome one, NJ. Say what's up, NJ.
What's up?
And I'm Mr. Park in New York, and you already know that. I don't know why I added that in. Anyway, so SummerSlam 2010. This was the era of Nexus, wasn't it? This is when Nexus first come on the scene, and we really thought they were going to get put over at this pay-per-view, but no, they really didn't, did they?
Sadly not. No.
No. Should we start off with the opener then?
Let's go for it.
Chronological order, as we usually do on the British Fist. Anyway, we didn't do that, did we? Do it. Yeah, that's a nice one, the British Fist, where the money's at. We opened up with Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship, a match which we've seen many times since then, haven't we?
We have it. They've just kept using it.
Yep. To be honest, I thought this was a pretty decent opener. It was a pretty fast-paced match until the Nexus come out. It was good to see the Nexus looking strong. I'll give him that. But my problem here is, does it have to come at the expense of the opener, which is very important in setting the pace in a pay-per-view, especially, you know, the first match on the card?
I think it's done its job because they basically were sending a message to Team WWE to take out the start, the whole show, to get the crowd thinking, right, they're here, they're dominant, they're sending a message, will lead on to them doing the main event. So yeah. I think it was right.
I know how you feel about it, but I just feel that it kind of ruins the pace. It kind of ruins this pace of the pay-per-view, in my opinion. I liked Nexus looking strong. Don't get me wrong. I love Nexus looking strong. I love Nexus taking out Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler. Just I felt this kind of delayed the pace of the show, kind of, because I don't know why. It just seemed to do that for me. I'm not really good match, but just Nexus looked strong. Yeah,
that was basically it.
Yep. Divas match then.
Sadly, yeah.
Oh god, we got Melina versus Alicia Fox for the Divas title. You know, the Divas title. Why did they change it to the Divas title?
I don't know. The belt they had at the moment looked a bit weird.
Butterfly. Yeah, it says Divas title here. Melina versus Alicia Fox. Melina wins in her hometown. This is a year after she had to vacate the title after she tore an ACL, I believe. So, right time for her to win in her hometown.
I think it was because Melina back then. Decent champ. So
yeah, it's a very emotional win as well. We saw her crying at the end.
He did.
Josh Matthews comes out, tries to interview her, and all of a sudden we get an interruption from Flawless Laycool,
the half belt champion.
Oh, the half women's champions each. Yeah, that looked like a plastic egg or something, didn't it? But what do you think of the match? What do you think of the Laycool interruption? Just for your thoughts.
I think it wasn't going to be an exciting match. It's just basically to give the belt to Melina, and then the afterthought, it was just set a next step up from then, which was Melina versus Laycool.
Just a question I'm wondering, because I haven't really asked this, but what do you think of Laycool as a tag team? Just wondering.
Diva tag teams I've not liked in WWE, so I just think as much as they were dominant, they brought a lot of dominance to the Diva division. I just thought women tag teams just sucked.
I didn't feel that they were. I didn't like them at first, but as I kind of saw them a bit more, I did feel there was something kind of new in the Divas division, and it was keeping the Divas division fresh. And as we know now, the Divas division isn't really that fresh until Beth Phoenix won a #1 contendership. Get in! Yeah. But anyway, that's this year's SummerSlam, so let's not concentrate on that yet. Let's save that for our 2011 review. Let's go on to the next match then, which was Big Show versus the three-man team of Straight Edge Society: CM Punk, Luke Gallows, and Jerry Mercury. Why did Big Show win when it's 3-on-1 and you've got CM Punk there? He's a great talent.
The reason Big Show won, in simple words, is
there's no other words to explain. I mean, why are you making Big Show win against the Straight Edge Society? I don't understand why you're having to bury Punk. This was when Punk was in the middle of his huge pay-per-view losing streak. It's just amazing to see how far he's come. Now he's in the main event at SummerSlam, and you were burying him at this one. All I'll say though, at least Punk didn't get pinned. He walked out of there. He still looked weak, but at least he didn't get. Looked so weak that he got pinned.
The thing is, I don't agree with this decision. Like, they had a big chance for Punk at this particular time to beat one of the monsters, as the WWE saw it, Big Show, and move his group up to something else.
I did think that as well. I thought the Straight Edge Society could have been a big thing on SmackDown, but it's just a shame they ruined that one. But That's CM Punk's WWE career for you, I guess, really.
Very much so.
Yep. We then have a Miz promo. Now, I don't know about you, NJ. I've never been a fan of promos in the middle of pay-per-views. I do feel in this promo, Miz showed us why he was good on the mic. It's just that I don't like them during pay-per-views. What are your thoughts?
Well, the fact there's certain wrestlers in the WWE that are actually good at making promos. So
because he's the Miz! And he's awesome!
So I think giving a promo to Miz, who is actually good at promos, I think, to be honest, having this, it did good, because obviously it was bringing Miz into SummerSlam, which you weren't really involved in. So I think this promo was good for the show.
And it gave him mic time, and he was the Money in the Bank champion. WWE obviously booked him as a future WWE champion, so why not give him mic time? It's just that I don't like it being on a pay-per-view. Why can't you use this on your shows which are supposed to build up to pay-per-views, your Raws, your SmackDowns, your house shows and stuff? I understand.
I think having all matches would have been a bit bad in my opinion. So to have stuff like these little things to fill in a bit more time, it was good.
And this was back when no one took him seriously, wasn't it? He really bigged himself up here, didn't he? And who would have thought that a year later he would be like one of the biggest heels on Raw?
That is true.
And this is when Cole began to start bumming him big time, wasn't it, as well?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, so this is basically to do with the main event. The fact he said he would join Team WWE, but we find out later what actually happens. That's the longest I've ever talked about promo. How about we go on to some matches, eh?
Let's go on to the next match.
All right, the next match we got was Sheamus, Sheamus versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. Your thoughts, really? Okay, firstly, what I'll ask you is, they gave that strap to Sheamus way too quickly, didn't they, the first time? They didn't really allow him to get built up that much.
No, but I think the WWE back then were realising they didn't have much wrestlers going for the championship, so they did that whole, we're going to pick a random wrestler match, and whoever wins that is going to go on to face.
And it really just showed the problems there, doesn't it? Like, they were really forced to bring Sheamus in there because they didn't really have that many main event stars, and today they have less. So what does that really say for the business as a whole?
So bad stuff, but I think bringing Sheamus into this match eventually, I think the match itself, looking at it now, it wasn't a bad match. No. It had good action between the champion and Randy Orton, and I didn't think it was a bad match at all.
No, I didn't feel it was a bad match at all. Usually I see Randy Orton and Sheamus, and I don't think good match, but it wasn't a bad match. It's just, I thought the match was 90 minutes, and usually I'm an advocate of long matches. I do like a long match, but I think this match may have gone on a little bit too long, in my opinion. And it ended in a DQ as well, which kind of leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth at the end of the match. I don't know.
So I think it probably led on to them continue their rivalry and stuff. So, again, I think for a SummerSlam match, it was pretty poor at the end, but it probably led on to other things.
And Orton does what he does best, and what he does now on SmackDown. Nothing changes in a year, does it? He comes out on top after the match, hits him with a low blow and a chair shot, and then still can't break an announcer's table with an RKO, can he? But I don't know. This is basically the same gimmick that he's using now, isn't it? The angry, but he's got a beard.
Pretty much doesn't make a difference.
Any other thoughts before we move on to your match?
No, I think, again, it was the Sheamus who was the champion at the time, and I'm thinking maybe they could have done more with him at that time, but they gave Orton the championship, so whatever.
They gave him it after this, didn't they? This match ended in a DQ, but give Sheamus. I'm glad Sheamus would collect that title. To be honest, I think he needed it to establish himself, kind of. Next match.
Oh, let me just stretch.
Oh, God's sake! In case you can't realise, he's got a Kane shirt on. Basically, we had Kane versus Rey Mysterio in a World Heavyweight Championship match. This match was based around the story that who attacked Undertaker? Was it Kane? Was it Rey Mysterio? And these two were having a match. And the problem with the match is, the match Kane versus Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship doesn't exactly scream to me SummerSlam type main event. I don't know what it is. I know you're a Kane fan, but for me it just doesn't seem to do it. I'm just not sure.
Well, the way this was built up, the whole Taker storyline, I think when it narrowed it down to just Kane or Rey Mysterio, you knew there was going to be a match. So I think dragging that onto SummerSlam, which gives them both involvement in SummerSlam and brings this whole who attacked Taker thing to a close, I think it was pretty good for this event.
And at least it's some kind of storyline, isn't it? And it leads, and like I said, it's some sort of storyline, and we all knew Rey Mysterio would be a holdover feud for Undertaker when this happened, because Undertaker returns after the match. But let's just talk about the match first. What did you think of the match itself?
Again, it did show, which we don't normally see, we saw both side action. We saw Rey Mysterio looking decent against Kane, which you should do, and Kane actually being the dominant monster he was against Rey Mysterio. So it was good to see, because it led on to eventually Kane becoming this temporary monster again, yeah.
Huge monster, wasn't he?
And Rey Mysterio continued being his underdoggy stuff, yeah.
This match lasted 30.5 minutes. WWE really did a good job booking Kane as a monster, not during this match, but also during the aftermath. The match I thought was okay, not great for a SummerSlam match, was still okay. And at the end of the match, we see this casket, and Undertaker comes out the casket at the end, and you're thinking to yourself, here we go, Kane, another Undertaker return coming on top. But they make Kane come out on top. Now, when that happened, you know they're going to really push Kane, and they did. They made him beat him for the next 3 pay-per-views.
The good thing I like is that we knew that Taker was going to return sooner or later, and I think the way they brought him in the casket, it involved in a Kane match with the 2 wrestlers who were in the idea of taking him out, and it went straight into making Kane look like the dominant, as you said. Yes. So I think the way they did this was perfect. I think they did it justice, even though it didn't. Kane, Undertaker didn't really attack Kane. It just went straight into Tombstone, which I thought was pretty bad. There should have been a bit more backward forward action between those.
But it was okay booking though. I did like the booking, especially after the match.
Yeah, I think. But even though with returns and I kind of there's a small thought in my head. I know it was the next main event was. The next match was a big match.
Yes.
But it's kind of making me think return of Taker.
Usually main event, isn't it?
Bringing on Kane as a monster. Maybe that could have been a main event.
But nah, not in today's era where they always have a Raw match as the main event now because it always involves Cena. And that is going to be our next match, isn't it, NJ?
Yeah. Hang on, I'm just going to
Team WWE versus Team Nexus.
Yeah, while you explain the match, I'm just going to go do something.
Well, you're going to toilet again? It's not a Divas match, NJ. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway. So basically, we have Team WWE, which at the time consisted of John Cena, Chris Jericho, Edge, John Morrison, and R-Truth, and Bret Hart. And the returning Daniel Bryan as well, versus Team Nexus, Wade Barrett, Skip Sheffield, David Otunga, Justin Gabriel, Darren Young, Heath Slater, and Michael Tarver. And, oh my God, a Nexus shirt. We walk alone to the unknown. We live and win another victory. We are the young, dying sons. It's hard to face that. What Nexus awesome.
They were a very good group.
Before we go into this match, talk about Nexus. Just the impact they had on WWE was immense at the time, wasn't it?
They were a very dominant group. I'm thinking this was the biggest thing WWE had in a while. And I think the way they brought Nexus in and the way they made him dominant against the other members of WWE, I just think it was pretty good to see. And it definitely brought something different to the WWE.
Yeah.
And the only problem I had with them is that they looked dominant throughout the Raws and went on to SmackDowns, but when it comes to pay-per-views,
they never did.
Not very well, no.
Nope. One thing I will say though, theme of the year was Nexus, wasn't it?
It was.
It was. We have Daniel Bryan returning. Of course, we all know he was fired from the WWE. So for me personally, it was good to see Daniel Bryan come back in place of The Miz, just because you knew then WWE were going to actually try and do something with him. What were your thoughts on Daniel Bryan returning? Because it was the big return. It was one of the big returns in this match.
I kind of was hoping that they were going to have Miz in it, because Miz had to get some involvement. I think this match would have been great for him. Daniel Bryan, again, back here, I wasn't really too much of a big fan of him. My liking of him grew as time went on, but I guess this match with Daniel Bryan against old teammates, I think it was something interesting. It was good to see him going up against his teammates. And
he was the second person from last to be eliminated as well, so, you know, kind of strong there. A couple of things I have about this match. The match got 35 minutes, which is the right time for a 7-on-7 match. We saw Skip Sheffield looking very strong, even though the end is the other way around. We saw Skip Sheffield looking very strong in this match. It's just a shame he got injured, really, wasn't it? Because he looked like the big powerhouse, the Mason Ryan type of the Nexus at the time. And then Heath Slater eliminates Jericho and Edge. And I'm thinking, why is the one-man rock band no one's joining in, eliminating two guys like that? I don't know.
Well, the way they did it, I thought it was quite interesting, because they had the hatred towards Cena, which obviously a lot of wrestlers would. And I think with their involvement with Cena during that match, I think it's a bit of a shame that it had Heath Slater to eliminate them. But again, at the same time, it was kind of their fault for having that little fallout with Cena.
And there was a lot of friction in the WWE team as well, which is a big part of this storyline. And we had Jericho and Edge turn heel in this, didn't we? They were faces for a bit, and then they turned heel on Cena.
Well, I think they should have been heels, but yeah.
We then get a Miz attacking Daniel Bryan with the Money in the Bank briefcase to cost Daniel Bryan his place in the match. And then we get Cena versus Justin Gabriel and Wade Barrett. And here I'm thinking to myself, come on, Nexus, this is the perfect place for them to win it. But what did WWE go and feed us once more?
Right, before I get to that, I want to quickly say what happened. They attack him outside the ring, make John Cena look like he could have a big chance of losing, but when they get back in the ring, Justin Gabriel has to be the one to get eliminated, and Super Cena has to then quickly eliminate Wade Barrett soon after. And I'm thinking, Wade Barrett and Cena at the end, they could have had a big fight at the end, them two, back and forward to finish off nicely.
I gave it 15 seconds.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking that was really, really poor.
Right, the main problem with this match is SummerSlam 2010 was supposed to be the SummerSlam where they really solidified Nexus and Wade Barrett and gave Wade Barrett some sort of strap going into the future. This is the time, I believe, where Nexus went from to And I think you can agree with me here, right? This is really where they should have been booked to establish themselves, and then they just got fucked over because Vince McMahon probably thought to himself, I can't have Cena lose, I can't have Team WWE lose.
The thing about that is that even though they lost this big chance at winning at this pay-per-view, they did not stop being dominant. Because afterwards they did continue to try and look dominant. But again, the bad thing about it is the pay-per-views that they need to look strong. Because the pay-per-views are WWE's biggest thing. So for John Cena or the faces to lose at a pay-per-view would be huge for them.
Definitely. But we saw the diminishment of Nexus throughout the months afterwards, didn't we? Which is why I see SummerSlam as the kind of beginning of the death of Nexus, in my opinion. They still look strong, but you didn't go on and establish Wade Barrett. You didn't go and give them the strap. You know, it just really didn't do very good for Nexus. The hottest thing they had all year, and they didn't solidify it. A bit like Del Rio, in my opinion.
That is true, but the only thing I can say is that Nexus was still such an awesome group, and I'm glad they didn't break up in result of that match and how things went on. They went on for a little while longer, but again, we could say bad things about how they were treated.
In 2010, I'll look back to this year and I'll think to myself, that's the year of Nexus. Would you?
Pretty much, yeah, because that's pretty much the main thing that happened in 2010.
It was, yes, it was the biggest thing. Do you have any more thoughts on that match before we go on to overall thoughts?
Nexus should have won.
Yeah, pretty much. Overall thoughts, NJ, on this pay-per-view? Give it a grade. Give it your thoughts. Kane winning must have been a big plus for you.
The biggest thing is Kane beating Rey Mysterio, because I picture Rey Mysterio winning all this against Kane, so I'm kind of glad they had the Rey Mysterio losing and then the build-up of Taker versus Kane. There weren't really much. There was championship matches which I liked.
6 matches, weren't there, in this pay-per-view?
Yeah, they had quite a few. Title
matches.
Quite a few, which was kind of good. But in result, it didn't really build anything. Nothing really stood out.
No.
The matches, you could almost predict most of them anyway. So
I think cards sucked, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I can't really say much decent about this. My grade, C-.
For me, this SummerSlam really lacked a SummerSlam moment. I mean, I liked the Undertaker return. I liked the Sheamus Orton match was okay. It was better than I expected. The undercard I thought was a bit shit. But the main problem here, the thing that really grades this down for me, is the fact that Nexus didn't win that match. I was initially going to give this a D, but after watching it again, it wasn't quite as bad as I expected, even though it was really bad. I'm going to give it C- too, just because there was some good moments in there, but the Nexus not winning kind of really brings it from a decent pay-per-view to a less than average pay-per-view.
I think, like I've said in all our SummerSlams, every event had at least one improvement or more, and this one, basically, they had big chance to make Nexus the biggest thing in 2010, even bigger than what they were, and they just failed at that, so it was just poor.
And also, I think SummerSlam was the first SummerSlam, in my opinion, where WWE started lacking star power as well, kind of.
Eventually they did, yes.
Yeah. Anything else to say before we finish this SummerSlam review series? It's been a good road, hasn't it?
I enjoyed it.
2010.
But the thing is, now we've got 2011 coming up, they've seen how bad 2010 was. I'm just thinking, with the things that are leading into 2011, can they improve that as much as they tried to do with this?
Yes, definitely. You have heard the opinions of us, the British Fist, NJ.
Gotcha.
Make sure you get your opinions, your thoughts on SummerSlam 2010 down below, especially on that whole Nexus storyline. Get it in that comment section down there below. NJ, can you just please showcase your Nexus shirt once more before I say goodbye? From us, the British Fist, huge supporters of the Nexus. I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me is Nexus fan number 1, NJ.
What's up?
Also, Kane and Triple H fan number 1 also. Thank you very much for watching our SummerSlam review series, and keep watching our videos from then on. We're going to try and make them the best videos we can. So thank you very much for watching our SummerSlam review series and SummerSlam 2010 review. That's it from us, the British Fist. Goodbye.
Change the face of history.